The tide is shifting. The turns are tabling. Just this evening alone, I've already had maybe two PlayStation fanboys call me grifter, one call me a narcissist, another tell me that I'm talking to a janitor, and all of this in light of the different shifts that we've had in a very short period of time. I can keep track for you if you want because I think it'd probably be very interesting. In fact, the whole claim that the Series S was a mistake thrown under the water by Baldur's Gate 3's developers finally coming out and saying that split screen, the one thing that they could not get working when the game was about to launch on Xbox, is coming to the Series S. Hence, proving that the hardware was not the problem, rather the development process that knew about the hardware while they were developing their game was pretty much the culprit at hand. So, you think about it, you go and say, what is going on here? Then you have all the talk about Game Pass, cannibalizing sales at 80%, happening to be that it's a fugazi because Game Pass is designed to replace sales revenue. Also, Xbox has a pipeline to sell its games on Steam, and when we look at Steam's bestseller lists, we find out that Xbox games are charting in the top grossing games every year since around 2019, and even with the plethora of games becoming more and more, it's continuing to happen. Then you see the shift from PlayStation moving from being only on the PlayStation platform and then going over to PC after Herman Holst in 2020 said that they did not have any plans to go day and date on PC, and saying that just because one first-party AAA game, Horizon, was going to PC didn't necessarily mean everything would come. Well, as he basically has said that basically changed and a lot of moves had happened. While all these folk were heckling me here on the Video Game Fight School channel, or attempting to, like one of them did just this evening, well, guess what? Appears that PlayStation is getting a restructuring within its leadership. Just all in a very short period of time. We started out the morning with the Series S bodying all of its detractors, and then by evening, basically 9:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're seeing an entire change that's basically going on in addition to other changes within PlayStation's structure. After Jim Ryan left, it's been restructure after restructure, move after move, shift after shift, because the market and the industry is going a different direction. I'm not sitting here joining some silly console war. I've only stayed in my lane, which is finding a data-centric approach to understanding the gaming industry. But some of my fellow PlayStation fans are too strong-headed that they look at what's going on. They have no way to refute reality because reality is reality. Can't be bothered about what you think. And he starts throwing out silly claims like, grifter, you're lying. Like, dude, you barely said stuff about the channel just now. Before you hit enter, they already moved the CEO out of their position to go back to publishing games. And now the person who wants to be more aggressive to PC basically is now running the show. And you are telling me that I'm talking to a janitor? I just can't help but just sit here and relax because I think the numbers, I think their actions, I think everything going on is painting a picture over and over again. More shifts, as we saw that the PC market is growing, basically single-handedly holding down the other three consoles and keeping them in their little place, and is doing very well, followed by, only preceded by mobile. But even though spending overall across gaming went down, Matthew Ball's presentation after doing a lot of daily coalition showed us that the console market is in a very interesting place, while PC is now a whole different beast. This is something that the data had been positing since 2016, 2015, and if any trend continued in that regard, it was always going to do this. Because the consoles have a very interesting ecosystem in a sense that they have to wait every 8 years for a refresh. On the PC side, we get refreshes every quarter. At some point, something new comes out, changes the entire game. And so that kind of attractiveness is something definitely that people will look at, and they see the value on the PC side. Contrary to the beliefs of those who have decided that they don't necessarily think that the PC platform is probably the better platform. In many cases, I think it is. But looking at other publishers that, in a sense, would have probably run with PlayStation for exclusive deals, starting to back away. Pearl Abyss, as of October of 2024. Final Fantasy's developers talking about them not meeting sales expectations after saying that they met sales expectations 1 year prior. Do you see it? I mean, just look on this page right here. GameFAQs is writing this, headline saying CEO Takahashi Kiryu saying FF16 met our sales expectations. And then November 1, 2024, they're saying Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Final Fantasy 16 did not meet its sales expectations. Because this basically at this point in time was probably their analysis based on possible future hope. And then after a year, hope didn't necessarily show up. So they had to pretty much go ahead and admit that this strategy of them basically sitting exclusive doesn't work, eroding more of the exclusivity paradigm and the exclusivity pillar that had already been put in place. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't think the gaming industry is taking an entirely different turn, then it's okay. Sit back and relax and let this whole thing basically happen in front of you, or act accordingly to your best interest. Position yourself where you, the consumer, can gain the very best benefit. That's all I'm here for. I'm really here to basically kind of point these things out and say, hey, man, you choose the direction you want to go. All I see is die-hard fanboys that want to plant their feet and dig in deeper in ecosystems that, for the most part, they realize may not benefit them to what they want, but just because of some tribalism, they think, wearing some PlayStation emblem or some Xbox emblem is some kind of a flex. I couldn't be bothered. Do what you want. What do I care? I mean, y'all have put me in a position where after seeing all the lies that the industry will not stop spewing, I looked and said, man, as much as I may dislike these consoles, and do you know why I dislike them? Because when Gotham Knights launched and their value proposition got exposed, that these consoles, after 4K 120 FPS on the boxes, was pretty much, followed by the fine print for software that supports it, I realized that there was something that we were not necessarily being told, and probably more. And as much as I may tell you I dislike the consoles, I cannot stand lying, nor can I stand obfuscation of the truth even more, to the point where I put aside my dislike, my qualms that I have with PlayStation and Xbox from the console side, to come in and see if we can make some sense of this. And see, they're fanboys. All these petty squabbles, they don't really work in your favor. I can tell you, from experience. You got to understand that I've been doing this for a good amount of time. Just, in the last year or two, there are many that have come, many that have gone, many that have called me names, and many that have run away afterwards. Because let me tell you the truth. If you have the metrics, if you have the data, if you have the facts behind you, you have no need to call me a grifter, to call me any name. You won't even have the time. You basically be offloading facts and data that you'll be like, man, I don't even remember any, categorization I can give about this person I'm arguing with. You would just give the facts. And the facts are the gaming industry is shifting. PlayStation's pillars are eroding right in front of us. Xbox's own pillars buckled under its weight in 2016, almost sending the company in a spiral. And then they latched on to the trend, PC. Going forward, other players, other gamers out there, and PlayStation basically cosplaying exclusivity like it's Nintendo is not working much anymore, as things are starting to pretty much evolve, as the gaming industry is moving very fast. If you don't catch on, you're going to be left behind. Do as you please, but you cannot deny it. You cannot in any way ignore it, that the spin that has been spun these last few months, these last few years, are toppling over. I mean, think about it. We started out this morning, and like I said, with the Series S bodying those who said it was a mistake. The Series S destroying those terrible arguments about, oh, it's giving developers problem, not acknowledging the fact that these same developers have almost all of them have made games for lower spec hardware. Yet these folk want to dishonestly come in here and do some nonsense, while their own house on PlayStation is one that they should be looking towards. Watch them celebrate this change that's going on. Everything is a celebration. They canceled 10 games. It's a celebration. But Xbox bringing a Series S that is capable of pretty much playing games just because it's not basically going to spoon feed developers is the death of Xbox. No, you're not allowed to do that. You won't be able to do that anymore. I mean, you were able to basically talk and, maybe for the most part you went unanswered. But reality can't stay too far away. Again, I'm having fun. I'm just waiting as the industry unfolds the new things that it has. But anybody with, I don't know, not even a keen eye, but just an open mind, objectivity, would be able to read the room even before we start seeing these things. Not going to say anything much here. I'm happy. I appreciate the community. Thank you for all of your comments and all of your support, even your detractions. I see them. Even those of you that are basically saying and calling me names, it is okay. Like I said, I'm enjoying my laughs because, again, I don't got to do anything. Like I said, I got a team behind me. All these execs and all these CEOs, they're basically, they're basically in my, on my debate team. Their actions are going to argue for me. And that's how we're going to basically make sense of the gaming industry. Thank you for watching the video. Talk to me in the comment section, and hopefully we can talk pretty much soon in another one. Peace out.